Do you know what? There comes a time in everyone's sort of journey on film or photography where at some point excess light gets in the way. What's happening, guys? Dan Debenham here. We're going to take a quick look at a piece of gear that can solve or help solve some of the lighting issues when filming outdoors or filming with excess light and allowing you to continue to grab great footage but without either breaking the bank or without sacrificing shot or sacrificing angle in order to be able to get the shot that you're actually looking for. Now we've all, photographers and filmmakers, we've all got, row upon row upon row of filters, whether they're variable ND filters, polarizers, or they're skyline filters, sky filters like this one, which gives us sort of a warm colour. And we've all got packs of these lying about all over the place, and they're absolutely indispensable when you're wanting to take a shot or something, but you want to keep that shallow depth of field, which obviously means you're shooting slightly more open than you would want to, because you need that depth of field in there. But of course the trade-off to that is that you end up with a massive amount of light coming in, and on a hot sunny sort of mid-morning to noonday, if you're shooting at noon, you're going to encounter massive washout on some days. So today we're going to take a quick look at a matte box by Tilta. It's the MBT15. It's their matte box mini. This is £109, or about 90 odd dollars, something like that. $140, I don't know, something in dollars. But it's not massively expensive, and is able to both clip on and be used on a rail system as well. So with that, let's have a quick look and see what this is all about and what you actually get. So, the box is quite nice, but do we really ever really keep boxes at all, to be fair? Once you start using this stuff, the box tends to take a back seat. But in this case, top of the box is padded inside with a foam, and then I'll just put that there. And then the inside of the box is also padded, separating out every little bit that comes with this matte box. And you do actually get quite a lot with this matte box. So let's have a look and see what we actually get. So first things first, what you get when we're looking at this, we'll pull this out here, you get a little packet, and inside that little packet you've got your warranty card, a basic instruction manual in what looks like Chinese and English. So it's like a fold out piece of paper with nice pictures on, etc, etc. And that suits, to be fair, it's pretty self-explanatory what you can do with this matte box. So, the instructions are there to guide you, but to be fair, I think we could all get through this without actually looking at the instructions. So, first thing we come out of here, we've got a 15mm rail and an attachment on the end, and this attachment with a screw, like a grub screw and a hex screw on it. In essence, what this does is this attachment allows you to attach it to a cage. Specifically, I think this attachment is for a tilter cage. So if you've got a tilter cage for your camera, this will attach to the tilter cage. It's threaded on the inside at both ends. So if you can get an extension for it, or you need to screw something into it to make it longer, or screw something into it to attach to it, you can, because this is threaded. And I think it's made from aluminium or aluminum if you're in America. So that's the first thing that you get. You get a 15mm rail, which is cool. I'll stick that there at the side. Next thing that you get two hex keys of different sizes. Tilta are pretty good with this. Tilta are pretty good with giving you all the necessary bits that you need to either to either assemble or disassemble what it is that you've bought. So you get two hex screws there as well, which is pretty cool. You also get this nifty little Tilta. It's a bracket basically. So what actually happens is this is a sort of cold shoe mount at one end with a locking screw on it, and then at this side you've got a just undo that a little bit. You've got a ring which fits over the rail, and then that obviously sits in place like so it can move about, and you can then alter this to be the right angle so that you can fit your arm, your single rail arm, onto your Tilta cage, which means you can just have one single rail arm, and at that point then your rail can come on and off, your matte box can come on and off for you to be able to either change filters or change lenses, that kind of stuff, and that basically works all on its own as one system. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that they include that, and they've thought about the fact that you may want to be changing lenses, etc., etc. Inside you also get some connection rings. There's a 72mm, a 67mm, there's a 82mm ring, and a 77mm ring. And these rings basically screw onto the front of your lens, and that allows a connection point for the matte box directly onto the lens. So we'll just put that to one side for a second, and then the last thing that you get, obviously, and I'll just move this box to one side, is you get the matte box itself, and it's pretty small. It's quite a small matte box. It's not overbearing. It's ideal, I would say, ideal for attaching to a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, a Blackmagic pocket cinema camera. It's pretty sizable for that. It doesn't look like you've got some Arri camera matte box from Bright Tangerine sat on the front of this tiny point and shoot kind of affair. So it fits really, really nice. And if I just use the 77mm ring, basically what happens is this is on your camera. It just slips over. So if I just unlock that, it just slips over the front of that into there. So you've got your camera attached then, and then you just turn a tiny little grub screw, and then it's attached to the front. On the top of this matte box, you've got a locking arm. So you've got a lock and unlock, and it's got a little grub screw to stop you going too far. That allows you to obviously pull the flag up. And that's one of the good things about this matte box, is that it actually comes with a flag. Flag is easy to take off, I have to say. So adjusting it during shooting or when it's on the camera, you need to be slightly aware that the only thing holding it in is that lock screw, and it's not going to fall out when you start altering it, because it is quite easy to pop out and pop back in again. So that is sort of, I would say, probably a little bit of a downside in that it's only held in through one way. And there are attachments on top for other stuff, so you can screw other attachments in. Obviously you can get stuff from Tilta that will allow you to do that, and it is quite deep in terms of how far away the lens is from the edge of the matte box. It's about probably an inch deep. On this matte box as well, this takes the normal 4 by 5.65 filters, so the glass filters that are sort of oblong shaped, and they slip in through a little. On this side, there's a little channel that they pull in, and it's blocked at one end, so they can't slip all the way through. And there's a tiny little pull screw at this end here, which you pull back and then slip it in, and then let it go, and it locks it into place. And that's got like a little plastic end on it. It's made out of plastic. It's nicely made. It's not like it's not made out of metal or anything. It is plastic, which makes it lightweight, I suppose. And this is, I think this is aluminium. It's got a carbon fibre sort of print on the front of it, and on the back, but I don't know whether it is carbon fibre or not, to be honest. It sounds aluminium when you close it. Obviously, you can set it to whatever height you want it to be set at, and obviously it will do whatever you want, up to a maximum of, I don't know, maybe 170 degrees the flag can go up to, which is pretty cool. But obviously without locked, it will just close shut and stay flapping around unless you lock it shut. They do sell other rings that come with this particular thing. Let's just put that there. They do sell extra ones of these, which I think are about £7 or £8 each for different sizes. And one of the other things, I suppose, one of the other downsides to this is this only has one slot for a filter, so you can't double up filters. So you couldn't put one filter in, then slot it. And a lot of matte boxes allow you to put 2, 3, 4, 5 filters behind or in front, to allow you to be able to stack up stuff like polarizers, ND filters, and maybe like a color filter in front of that or whatever. And they allow you to do that. Whereas this, you can only use one filter in the actual matte box itself. That doesn't mean that you can't use a filter attached to the lens directly before you put it in. And there is a way of doing that with the camera attached, because I know quite a lot of people, and me included, like to use either a polarizer or variable ND filter, and of course that means you're trying to adjust it and you're trying to get in there. Now you can get the filter on if it's a non-variable filter. You can get the filter on, screw it on into your lens, and then you're good to go, and there's no issues whatsoever with that. But if you wanted to adjust it, the lip where this sits extends out from, obviously, it extends out probably, I don't know, maybe 5 mil from the end of the camera. So you're effectively going to end up with no way of actually turning that filter. So the way to do that is to get some of these. Now these are step up and step down rings. And essentially what you would do is you would step it down. So for me, for instance, if I'm using a 77, I would step it down from 77 to 72. And then I would step it back up again to 77. And that gives me enough space with these step up and step down rings to be able to get in and change the variable ND if I need to in any way, shape or form. Does it cause some vignetting because the lens, the filters and stuff, and the tunnel is a lot longer than it would normally be in terms of like the actual glass is further away from the edge of the actual lens, physical edge of the lens itself? I can't say that I've had any kind of noticeable vignetting by doing that particular technique. And by using the step up and step down method, if you're wanting to use obviously a variable filter. If you're not, then obviously you can stack 2 filters side by side, so you can stick a static filter on your lens and then start changing the filters in the front of the matte box, and that would work perfectly. You don't need to use the step up step down scenario at all in any way, shape or form. It will be perfectly okay to do it using that method. So let's take a look and see if it is good at cutting down the light, and let's see if it does do its job properly by shutting down some of the light due to it being sort of an inch thick. There are no side flags on this as there are on other, some other matte boxes do have side flags. Let's have a look now and see how well it does. So final thoughts on this. Would I buy this again? And that's the thing. I think that's the thing as well. Would I buy it again? Yes, I would. It's £109. If I smashed it up, it's 109 quid to buy a new one. It's not going to cost me an absolute fortune. I mean, you can buy flags that are more expensive than this. The whole system, including everything, obviously not the stuff I've already got, but including all the matte box stuff, you can buy a flag for a Bright Tangerine probably as expensive as what this is, or another different manufacturer. if you want to go carbon fibre and all that kind of business, you're obviously going to end up with a more expensive matte box. I've talked for so long that's gone cold. And yeah, I would buy it again. It's small, it's ideal for a DSLR, it's ideal for a mirrorless camera, it's ideal for like the Pocket Blackmagic style stuff. Anything really, anything that's going to take like a Canon or a Sony lens or that kind of DSLR type lens, it's going to be ideal for. It's going to be easy and budget friendly, so to speak. So with that, I think that's all there is to it really in terms of review of this. I think it speaks for itself in terms of how it actually works and what you get with it. I think it's an incredible value, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!